What's going on, y'all? I'm long overdue for this one. And I do want to apologize. I have had a lot on my plate today. I apologize for not posting to y'all like I should have, man. Your boy has I've been on a real tight grind as I am every day. And that's what you're really supposed to do. But nevertheless, let's dive right into this thing, all right? Gary Trent Jr., you know, for some of y'all that don't know, Gary Trent Sr., he actually played in the league. And Gary Trent Sr. had some words with the management, dealing with his son. Now, just to give you a little backstory, I know some people don't want to believe this. Now, in the media, they're gonna put a smoke screen out there, and they're gonna make it look great so that they could, protect people. And it's a lot of guys that are untouchable, or oh no, we would never put that out there about him and all this other stuff. Look, Gary Trent Jr. was not happy when he was reporting, and it was for several reasons. Uh, let's start with the top. Okay, the main reason why was because he was having problems with the management. There was a lot of things that was going on in house. He was fed up with the way things were going on in Portland, and rightfully so, because Portland was a mess. I mean, we're talking about even when Terry Stotts was there. Portland was just a mess, a complete mess. Uh, and then all the stuff that was going on in house, which I'm not gonna get into. That was pretty much the nail in the coffin right there. That everybody needed to see that organization was all over the place. But it seems like right now that they're trying to turn things around and all that other stuff with the trade. They're trying to move on from the Dame era and everything. Now, speaking of Dame, that was another situation. He was not get. It was Dame Dame and CJ McCullough that were hogging the majority of the points, or pretty much the majority of the shots. Uh, not getting others involved, and of course you got Dame that always wants to play hero ball. And look, I like Dame. I think he's very talented, but what holds him back is the fact that he wants to play hero ball, and he wants to uh, keep the game close, just so that he'll go ahead and he'll put that dagger in the heart, so to speak. And Gary Trent Jr. was growing tired of that, because okay, here you got a guy that can actually shoot, that can actually put the ball in the bucket and everything. Sometimes he would be inconsistent, but at the same token, I mean, when the guy was on, he was on, and he would play his role and play which is what he was pretty much was a 3 and D guy, because he's gonna give you defense, and he could score also. He could also score. But when when you're uncomfortable in the situation and you're not playing, you're on eggshells. That's not you're not gonna be you're not gonna see the full value of that guy. So it's gonna make you judge that guy and be like, well, that guy's trash. But meanwhile, you got another guy in Dame who gonna get all the shots and do this and do that and not get others involved, and you never get to see the true full value of that player because it's like, oh well, Dame needs help and Dame needs this and Dame needs that. Dame. Not realizing that Dame is pretty much the Achilles heel. And Gary Trent Jr. did not want to be there. He did not want to be stuck in that situation. And now you're starting to see Gary Trent Jr. in Toronto playing with guys like Fred VanVleet and you know Pascal Siakam, guys that won a championship. I know people forget that they won a championship. Fred VanVleet got a ring. Pascal Siakam, he got a ring. Those guys have been to the championship, whether you want to believe it or not. And so now you put him in a situation where he can play his game. Um, he doesn't have to feel like he's on eggshells. Everybody, it's kind of like the Cleveland situation where everybody's sharing the ball. Everybody, no egos. Uh, and now he's pretty much free to do, damn near pretty much anything that he wants. And I'm happy for the guy because look, I still stand on what I said. I still see a bright future for him growing as a player. You know what I'm saying? But let's look beyond that. I'm looking at it from a standpoint of okay, now this guy actually has an opportunity to flourish because when he was in Portland, put up 20 some odd points or something like that, and then next thing you know, the very next game, then he would be missing in action, very inconsistent. Meanwhile, while he been in Toronto, you know, 30 plus points, 4 to 5 games in a row, maybe have like a little off night, 13, 15 points, they come right back, 24 points. You understand what I'm saying? Now he's getting to do what he normally wants to do. And to me, Fred VanVleet is a better running mate than what Dame is. Yeah, Dame might score a lot of points and do all that other stuff, but he's not facilitating like Fred VanVleet is. And the thing about it is that for too, I don't think Van Fleet was a huge part of those that championship when he was with Kawhi. As much as people don't want to admit it, and Pascal Siakam, of course, he was huge too. A lot of people felt like, with Pascal Siakam, man, what happened to his game? He was, he had an off year. The last couple of years or so, whatever, and that had to do with him getting into it with, um, that was in-house stuff or whatever. But now Toronto, they're competitive. They're getting back to what they were accustomed to doing at one point in time. They had to adjust with Kawhi not being there, and now I think they've adjusted to that. But anyway, I'm digressing now. When it comes to Gary Trent Jr., when you're happy, you play much much better. That's on the court and off the court, on the floor and off the floor. You don't have to be looking over your shoulder. You don't have to be worried about if they're gonna yank you out the game. You ain't gotta worry about like if I'm gonna play 10 minutes, and is that gonna be my only 10 minutes? No, he can go out there and give you quality minutes. Let the game come to him, even if he struggles. You know, even if he happens to struggle, his coach will have enough faith in him to be like, you know what, weather that storm. Adversity happens. But see, when you're playing in an environment like that, which it was toxic over there. What's up with it, Slinky? I see you in the building. I'm talking about your Raptors. Well, Gary Trent Jr. was in Dame's shadow, and now he is in a better system. Well, I felt like I wouldn't even say it like that. I wouldn't even say that he was in the shadow. He wasn't getting any. This guy, look, if I'm playing and I got a guy who's sitting there taking the majority of the shots, I know that I could score. I know that I can put the ball in the hole. I know that I know what I'm capable of, and what my value is and stuff. And then I gotta adjust to you. And on top of that, if I say something, if I say something that's out of line, my badge, that's an uncomfortable situation to be in. So he got to keep it, professionalism as much as he could. And hey, he got fed up with it. He got fed up with it, and I don't blame Gary Trent Jr. because he can do a lot more. The guy can do a lot more than what a lot, what people think. But it's just that okay, when you look at him, it's like okay, well, who is this guy? This guy's not doing anything. Da 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 da. Da. You're saying that based because guess what? Like you just said, Slinky, it looks like that. Like he's under Dame's shadow, which is pretty much the majority of the team. You might as well if you want to bring the interpretation of David Ruffin and the Temptations, it'll be Dame Ruffin and the Temptation because that's what it is. You say Gary also is a great defender, exactly. And I've been telling people like that for a long time. He was a quality 3 and D guy, but I always felt that his upside was much much more. And people tripped out when I said, what he could actually become. And it's like you got to give that guy opportunity. Slinky, he's put up what I think it was 5 games with 30 plus points. I could be wrong. Check the numbers. It was either 4 or 5. But the guy was on a tear. He was on a tear for games in a row, and that's I paid attention to Gary Trent Jr. ever since he was at Duke. Man, when the guy get hot, he gets hot. Yeah, exactly. Five five straight games. I knew my math wasn't off key. 5 straight games with 30 plus. And in those games, he was shooting a high percentage. It wasn't like he was shooting a. It wasn't like he was shooting, a low percentage or something like that. No, this guy was shooting pretty much, a high percentage, especially from 3 pointers. The, this guy, uh, one game he put up like it was like 60% from 3 pointers. So what does that show? That shows that he's comfortable. That shows that he likes his situation. That shows that he's happy, and I'm happy for the guy, man. I'm happy for him, and I hope he keeps it up. I hope he keeps it up. You know, there's a lot of players that the NBA is trying to move on from. Uh, they see what direction the NBA is going. It's not about just one guy dominating the ball all the time, dribble, 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 and stuff like that. They're trying to get out of that. That's why like guys don't really want to play with a guy like James Harden. I'm just being honest. We can sit up here and people can act like they want to play with him all day, but we know the truth. And I definitely don't want that motherfucker near Philly. So y'all let me know what you think. Like the video, share it, subscribe, hit the notification. Polo Sports Talking Entertainment. I'll be back at y'all again with another one later.